if you like to reload your own shotgun shells as much as I do, and you're always looking for a way to make it easier and more efficient, then you clicked on the right video. In the next couple of minutes, I want to show you my solution to a problem that's been around for a long time, and I want to show you how to fix that problem simply by replacing one inexpensive part on your loader. Now, before we get started, I want to show you some of the machines that I've used over the past 30 years. And if I told you I haven't crashed these machines at least a half a dozen times, I would be lying to you. But what's ironic is that when I would crash a machine, it would generally involve either crushing a wad or tearing up the bottom side of the wad or the powder pocket of the wad as I was seating it into the hull. Well, when I crashed my last machine at the beginning of 2013, I decided to look into this problem. So I knew that I'd have to go back to the very beginning, back to station 1 on one of my reloaders, and actually see how the reloading process really worked. So I took off the resizing tube off of this old MEC 600, and I began to put several different kinds of shells through this machine. And what I noticed was, the first thing that caught my attention was that this upper die that MEC calls a knockout, it basically didn't do anything to prep this shell for new components other than spread out the crimp fold a little bit at the top. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is a shell that has never been loaded before. You can see how easily the wad goes in and out of this shell that's never been loaded. Now we have a once fired load. This is what the factory has to deal with. This is what we have to deal with. We have to deal with something like this where once we get it in, now we have to force it down into the hull through the wad guide to get it down into the shell. So what I determined was the problem was not in the wad guide. The problem is in this small part of the throat of the shell right here is actually where our wads get bent and they get crushed. So I said to myself, this would be a great place for a swaging die. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with the swaging die, a swaging die is, let's imagine this is a piece of pipe that's all bent up, and we want to bring the inside diameter back to its original diameter. We would have to stick some kind of a die in there and press everything back to its original diameter. So I took a few measurements, and I went over to the drawing board, made up a few plans, went to the lathe, and this is what I've come up with. These are some of my swaging dies that I've created for various machines that I load with. This one right here is a swaging die for the old MEC 600 for this machine right here. Now what you're going to notice on this swaging die is that it's longer, it's bigger, it has wrench flats cut into it, so I no longer have to use a pair of pliers to loosen it or tighten it. But what's most importantly is this conditioning ring that I designed right here. The way this ring is designed, it's designed to actually sweep everything inside the hull on the way down, but it has a cutting edge here on the very bottom of it. As this comes back out of the hull, what it does is it hones or reams or cleans everything out of that hull so that there's nothing in there to impede a wad. Let's throw this on this 600 and see if we notice any difference. It's real easy to change. I'm going to show you how to change from this old knockout to a swaging die here in about a minute. You simply need to just take off your primer punch, take off this jam nut, I hate to tell you this, but you're going to have to get out a pair of pliers now, and you're going to have to hold that knockout with those pair of pliers, take a 3/4 inch wrench, and break that loose, and then I want you to just unscrew the old knockout and take it out of the machine. This is an original MEC knockout. Then I want you to take my swaging die, stick it back up on there, run the nut down. You're going to just do everything backwards now. It's only going to take you a couple of minutes here to do this. But now you have an advantage when you go to tighten that up. Now you can put a wrench on this. This will be a 5/8 wrench. Take your 3/4 out and you can snug that up. Put your jam nut back on, and then run on your primer punch after that. Alright, now let's try this again. Let's take one of these hulls right here. This is a Nitro 27. Now as you can see, when we start down, we're going to knock out the primer. Then we're going to go down in, there goes the conditioning ring. We're actually knocking out that throat of that shell, and we're taking that back to its original diameter on the inside so a wad can pass down through there. You want to see that again? There it goes down in, it's taking out that neck, that throat, and then it literally throws it back off of the machine. So now what we have is we have the top of this hull has been cleaned to accept a wad, just about that slick. It accepts a wad just as easy as it does in this unfired hull over here. And look, I can just pull them right back out with my finger. It's pretty much the same thing. Goes right in, right out. Nothing to impede the wad from going down in there. Now your fingers can actually do what they're designed to do. They're designed to actually just guide this wad straight into this hull, like this. And there's your wad. Pretty slick. I mean, you talk about making reloading easy, that's pretty darn easy. Also, it doesn't stick over here anymore on this die. Once you put the primer in, it's nice and free on this die. And then, like I said, as far as putting your wad in now, I can put the wad in with my finger with nothing there to impede it from going down into the hull nice and smooth. Well, guys, I've given you the evidence here. I'm going to let you be the judge and decide. I have these swaging tools on every one of these swaging dies. I have these on every one of my machines. I wouldn't load without it. I mean, I haven't had a crash since I've put them on every one of my machines. If you guys would like to own one of my swaging dies, just go to my website, creativereloadingsolutions.com. See if there's one on there that fits your machine. If there is, pick one up and try it. You won't be sorry that you did. Because my theory is, if you're going to reload, make reloading easy. Hey, don't forget, on my next video, I made a swaging die for my MEC 9000. Guys, I want you guys to check it out. I think you're going to find out it's pretty cool. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate your time.